I think I have some serious feelings for my ex's best friend. What should I do? I never thought I would be making a post like this, but I've seen some people get some good perspective and advice from these subs. For this story I'm going to refer to my ex as Josh and his best friend as Mike. Referring to Mike as only Josh's best friend is a bit misleading. I will try to keep the backstory as short as I can, but I've known Mike since we were little kids. He had a crush on me back then, and eventually around middle school to high school, we dated. Of course, we were really young and it was only as serious as a relationship at that point in your life can be. Towards the end, things got a bit more intense as we aged, but those are details I won't be sharing here. Through all of those years, dating or not though, we were best friends and extremely close ones at that. Josh knew both of us through this time because we met him in the 7th grade when he moved to our school. Eventually, some shit went down and Mike's family ended up moving away. It wasn't far enough that I'd never see him again, but we were too young to drive and it was too far of a distance to maintain a relationship. A couple years later I started dating Josh. And while my friendship with Mike died down, Mike and Josh's friendship became stronger. The two of us were together for around 3 years and now we even go to the same college. We broke up a while ago but have definitely struggled to do that successfully because I want to maintain a friendship with him post-breakup like I did with Mike, but he has a very hard time being around me as just my friend. This has led to a temporary dynamic of us being officially broken up but not acting like it. I try my best to have an open dialogue with him about this, and we are attempting to work towards only being friends and doing okay with that at present. Soon after Mike moved, he also got a new girlfriend. He's been with Kelly for nearly 4 years. And he doesn't act towards her like he did with me at all. I've only been around the two of them as a couple a few times, but Josh has been around and knows a good bit more than I do. Kelly seems like a sweet girl, but it seems like he stays with her just so he doesn't have to be alone. Mike is a good guy and that's something I do not doubt, but he's weirdly a little mean and harsh with her. He's very friendly to all of the other people I see him interact with and it just feels odd to me. Josh and I talked about their relationship in the past after we were all hanging out one night and Mike one-on-one expressed some of his relationship issues with Kelly to me when we were alone in the kitchen. Recently, I needed out of the house and I spent a little under a week hanging out with Josh and Mike on their coordinated vacation time. Only one of those days was Kelly there. I'm not sure what clicked in my head over those days, but I was just feeling very warmly towards Mike. I didn't elaborate on why I needed out of the house, but I was dealing with some serious things and through the week it was like Mike was able to tell every time I was down and he would do the right things to help me out. That's something Josh and I would struggle with because he isn't the most emotionally aware person. I'm not sure exactly where the switch went off and it became a little crush, but it makes me feel like a bad person. It would really hurt Josh to know at this point in time. A couple details I left out is that Mike and I come from more similar backgrounds. We both have rough parents and come from poverty. Josh has always lived comfortably. And Mike and I both still do not drive/have cars. I felt maybe I was just imagining things, but towards the end of the week it seemed like Mike was a little extra interested in talking to me. I was enthusiastic to talk with him because it'd been so long since we'd been close friends. After all of us went our separate ways, Josh approached me saying that he felt we paid a little too much attention to each other, and he also informed me that on the day Kelly was with us that Mike accidentally said my name instead of hers when I was out of the room. Mike and I have also been texting a little bit lately, which is something we weren't doing before that week. My current plan is to keep it to myself until either Mike and his girlfriend break up, Josh and I are more comfortably distanced from our relationship, or or Mike can drive so I could sit him down and have a conversation about how I've been feeling, or a good combination of all of those things. What should I do? If there's anything I left out that anyone needs clarity on, I'd be happy to do my best to answer. Next story 2. I have a sticky situationship with a 26F. Long backstory short, I'm divorced with 3 kids. Have been for 8 years. The divorce broke me in every conceivable way, especially since I lived in a different state from them. I'm still trying to put my life together and be a part of raising my kids on a daily basis, not birthdays, holidays, and summers. A few attempts were made to relocate, and currently, I'm trying a third time to establish myself in their area. Yes, that was the short version, LOL. Anyway, in walks this friend of my little sister's. My sister has made it clear I'm off limits for all her friends. This is due both to her being sick of all her friends catching the feels for me and sometimes becoming obsessed over me, her entire life, as well as knowing I was trying to put my life back together and focus on me and my kids. On the DL, each of her friends in her current main group have tried to get with me anyway over the last several years, but that's just a side note. On the down low, Xena, not real name, let her interest in me be known this last November. I'm brutal with honesty. All the time. If I think something is idiotic, I say so with zero sugar added. So I lay out a dozen reasons why Xena and I can't hook up. The highlights are that she dated my younger brother, I later got the green light from him to mess with her, my fam would hate it, for the reason above as well as my sister's rule, I am still mentally and emotionally broken, she was too young, and I would be moving, and did so, in the summer, which was about 6 months away. She responded she was an adult, and fine with just messing around and wouldn't get attached, much less hold me up. I responded I'd heard that before and that she was insanely naive if she believed that she wouldn't catch the feels and regret thinking this was a good idea eventually. I let her know that since it was a terrible idea she should forget it. She decides to just hang out because she enjoyed my company, gets me drunk, and so we begin our ship status on her birthday. I know what you're thinking. Well, you're right, but if being so abrasively blunt didn't work, then I mean. Sundresses, I'm just a man? Anyway, she did fall. I admit I have loving feelings for her but feel like it's not real because I can leave without having her be a part of my life and actually encourage her to move on both sexually and emotionally. I've shared with her exactly how I feel and think. She wanted to move with me, but I told her I wanted at least a year to focus on my kids and just relearn what it means to be their dad with nothing else being in the way. She wants to wait until I'm ready to allow her a place by my side. She wants to have a child with me. Part of me feels like ghosting her would be the kindest possible thing for me to do for her. Part of me really is deeply touched someone loves me even as I am now, wants me and is unwilling to give up on me. I'm terrible at LDRs, by the way. I'm still something of a romantic at heart and find this is very romantic on her end. I tell her to move on while hoping she doesn't, even though she's not a perfect fit for my life, as selfish as that is. I pride myself on not wasting time on relationships that aren't healthy. How long is too unreasonable to ask someone to wait for you? Next story 3. What to do about my twin sister that is always putting me down in subtle ways. For context, my twin sister used to bully me pretty badly when we were little. She would call me disgusting, fat, ugly, a loser, etc. pretty much every single day throughout middle school and high school. I would never say anything negative back to her because I didn't want to hurt her like that, which shows the huge personality difference between us. And then I remember discovering her diary one day and being shocked that she'd written that she was jealous of me and the way that I looked because I had gotten to a point where I genuinely felt like I was the most disgusting person alive. Flash forward some years and she still tries to bully me, but in a much more subtle way because I don't allow the outright nasty comments anymore. For example, if a guy hits on me at a bar, the next day she tells me that he hit on her first but she rejected him so he moved on to me. I don't know if it's true or not, like it could be true or she could be making it up, but it's comments like that that are so unnecessary. Another example is we have this little 8-year-old cousin who calls me fat. I'm literally 5'4" and 125 pounds, so I don't know why she calls me that, but my sister knows this, so she'll purposefully get her to call me fat by asking her, for example, why she won't allow me on her trampoline, etc., knowing she's going to give that as a reason. It's so subtle so no one else notices it, but I know her so well that it drives me crazy. I also used to have an eating disorder, so it makes it even more messed up that she gets joy from someone calling me fat. I don't know what to do, because if I get upset she loves it, and if I try to have a convo about anything she gets aggressive and tells me I'm crazy for feeling the way that I do / acts like she doesn't do anything.